Beg a piece of your Easter bun now? Or some of your fried fish and bread? What you say? Me fi come? Oh, it finish. It's alright. Next year, maybe at your doorstep is some of your Easter treats. Seriously though, thanks for joining us for what we think will be another exciting edition of Jamaica Magazine. On the show today, we talk security. The Commissioner and Commandant are this week's guests on Issues and Answers. We'll hear all the details on the merger of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Island Special Constabulary Force. Plus, a private-public sector partnership that is tackling crime with much energy. Stay with us. Your Easter Sunday is about to get better.
That can easily change if we allow the cutting of trees, forest fires, animal grazing, crop cultivation, or improper dwellings to destroy our forest reserves. Help preserve Jamaica's flora and fauna. If you know or suspect that someone is hurting our forest reserves, call 1-888-FORESTS. Remember, protecting our forests means sustaining our lives.
We know it's the Easter weekend and crime is perhaps not the foremost thing on your mind, but the reality is that crime remains a challenge for us as a people and we'll all have to unite to change the current situation. Recently, government announced that the two major crime-fighting organizations were close to being merged. Today on Issues, Commissioner Owen Ellington and Commandant James Golding provide the answers as to why this merger will improve national security.
Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I am Ian Boyne. The Cabinet has approved the proposal for the merger of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Island Special Constabulary Force. And today we have the heads of these two forces with us, Commissioner of Police Owen Ellington and Commandant James Golding of the Island Special Constabulary Force. We thank you so much for your company. Gentlemen, good to have you on the show. If I may start with you, Commissioner Ellington, how would you outline the best case for this merger? Why is it in the interest of the country for there to be this merger?
It has long been recommended, Ian, and the Cabinet has recently authorized its implementation. I've said to my senior officers and the general membership of the force that this is a decision of the political executive, and we are executors of policy. So we should support it and we should ensure that it proceeds as efficiently and seamlessly as possible. But beyond that, there are tremendous amounts of operational efficiencies to be gained by merging the two organizations into one so that you abandon a whole lot of duplicated functions, physical infrastructure and costs associated with maintaining those infrastructure. And therefore you can fuse those resources to have a combined strength, which is going to be much more robust than we are now with fragmented organization. Okay. And we can then focus more resources on the front line where they are greatly needed to enhance public safety, public security, and public order. So it makes practical, rational sense to do it. Yes.
In your view, Commandant, what would you see and highlight as the main benefits of this merger, this proposed merger?
Well, I was thinking about it just this morning and thinking how the ISF became very professional at being a specialist organization. We focused largely, for the most part, particularly in Kingston, on things like anti-vending, traffic management and the like. Okay. It provides a wider raft of opportunities for members of the ISF. It really does.
Yes, yes.
So they now come into the mainstream and become a seminal part of this, the solution. Because, like I said to some of my colleagues, when we swore on, we swore to protect a Jamaican population.
Yes.
And I said to them, does it matter what seam you wear if you're ensuring the security and safety of the Jamaican people? Yes. It gives you now a better opportunity to operate from every level, every angle, in every formation, to provide this type of safety and security.
And a large number of your men have signed on to this?
In fact, just a cursory count of the letters that have been signed reflects over 1,400 that have been signed of the 1,995 members that we have.
Over 1,400?
Over 1,400.
Yes. So this action in the court is really a minority action?
I think so.
Just, you know, on the sheer numbers
Right.
of persons who have signed up.
I went to a formation to speak to them because I gathered they were having some concerns. And one young constable said to me, "Can we go put the seam on now, sir?"
He was that eager?
Yes, she was
that eager?
Yes.
Yeah. But what are some of the concerns that people have? I know people have concerns about promotion, you know, have concerns as to whether their welfare needs will be dealt with.
Let me take that one first.
Yes.
Because I'm on record, and the commissioner himself is on record to say, where vacancies exist in the ISF, we'll try to fill as many of those vacancies before the transition takes place.
Okay.
Because I truly believe that the vacancies in the ISF now belong to persons who currently serve the ISF. Similarly, I believe that the vacancies in the JCF now belongs to those persons who are currently serving the JCF. In regards to welfare issues, I've sat down, I've spoken, I've traveled the island and spoken to every formation, some more than once. I have kept the association, the rank and file association, and I should say the Officers Association is fully on board.
Oh yes, I heard Mr. Boyne today, yeah?
Yes. So I've kept them in the loop. The welfare issues, they are told that the welfare issues will be guaranteed. They have issues over casual mileage. I have told them, and the commissioner has agreed with me, that where casual vacancies exist, or casual posts are held, that when members are transferred to a division, they take the post, the vacancy, the casual post with them. At least for the first time, they are transferred to that position. So
those issues, they won't lose as a result of this merger.
No,
you would.
They won't lose.
You would say,
yeah.
and that's certainly your position
That's
too.
basically my position. In fact, I've tried to address two issues which may arise. One around rights, the other around equity, and we have made sure that their tenure of service is protected. Pensions benefits are protected. Seniority in service and in the rank are protected, and we have made sure that there is full accommodation in the Jamaica Constabulary Force to assure no form of discrimination whatsoever against members of the ISCF who will transition. On the issue of equity, they will come in no worse off than they were now. In fact, every member is likely to be better off in terms of emolument. They will come across in equal rank. There's going to be an upward adjustment to salary to bring them on par with their colleagues in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And they are now going to have equal opportunity to all the training, postings, rotations, transfers, advancement, everything which is now available to members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We have communicated regularly with the members. I have written in the force orders. We send every member of the JCF and ISCF has an official email address. We send all staff emails to everybody, constantly informing them of what is taking place. We have developed, in conjunction with the Ministry of National Security, a list of frequently asked questions and answers on how you merge organizations. So it took me by surprise to hear that there were lingering concerns. And to be honest with you, Ian, nobody has made those concerns clear to me. I'd wish to hear from the association what is the new concern.
Yes.
I think there's a
We'll take a break.
Okay.
At this point, we're talking about the proposed merger between the JCF and the ISCF. The heads of these organizations are here with us. They have more to tell us when we come back from our break.
Hello everyone, I am Zondre Mohansi, OCR Associate Child Ambassador for Region 6, Clarendon and St. Catherine. As a participant in the OCR's Child Participation Program, it is my role to be the voice of the OCR in advocating for the rights of our nation's children. I am imploring all our youths to exercise their right of participation and remember to care and protect, not harm and neglect our nation's children.
Welcome back. The heads of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Island Special Constabulary Force are talking to us about the proposed merger of these two organizations. And back to you, Commandant. Over the years, there's been this kind of a rivalry between the two forces and a feeling of superiority, inferiority. JCF members feel that, well, they are the police and the others, just inferior. This should help that.
Well, I've always said to my charges when I speak with them that nobody can make you feel inferior unless you first allow yourself.
Yes.
I figured they have taken it very seriously, and so now some people resist because maybe the feeling as reversed. but this is a real issue. We spend 30% or so of our time arguing about who can do what, who is superior to what, to who has the authority to do what. Yes. And I say we should use that time to assist the public in ensuring their own safety and security. So whilst we haggle and compete against each other, the public suffers. Yes. I figured I've fought in the trenches and I've fought long and hard, and I figured the time has come for us to transition from that mode to another mode. There's a 2030 vision that we must accomplish, and we can't accomplish that vision if we have fragmented units of the police force trying to do things that we both are doing at the same time and sometimes not effectively, not efficiently.
So, Commissioner Ellington, there's a lot of overlapping administratively and so on in terms of the two forces that this merger would eliminate.
Yes.
And would have more boots on the ground?
Absolutely. And
that's a big benefit for the public.
That's an early benefit to be derived.
We're not worried about little squabbles going on. We want the benefits.
And it's one of the things that I have, tried to use to market the idea of merger, that we need to enhance operational efficiencies. Precisely. And we need to be able to put more people where they are required, which is on the road. So as we close down these facilities and we abandon these duplicated functions, we can achieve that. But on the question of superiority, inferiority, in a strict interpretation of the laws governing both organizations, you see where one force is the permanent body of men or women employed by central government for law enforcement, and you see where the other one is a supporting force. Okay. In reality, Ian, I see James Golding as equal. I see the men and women of the ISCF as equal. I see talents and capacities in the ISCF which are limited in terms of how I can expose them. And I think the time has come for us to stop denying the public the benefits of these talents in other areas of policing. And those who are opposing the merger, they should start thinking what serves the public interest.
Yes. Yeah. One senator has raised an issue which I'd like to deal with Commissioner Ellington first and perhaps Commandant Golding. And that is that there is a danger in the amalgamation because let's say there are wage negotiations. At least now there are two organizations. So if the JCF goes on strike or the ICF goes on strike, you still have a unit that you can call upon. When you put everybody together now, it threatens national security.
Well, let me tell you, this is not just something which is unique to Jamaica. Right across the globe, countries are moving towards forced mergers or federalization of their law enforcement systems because the criminals do not recognize institutional boundaries or divisional boundaries, even national boundaries, they don't. The threats that we are confronting us right now require more organized, synergized forces to respond to them. So it's not something that I think should be discussed narrowly in terms of what happens if there's disenchantment with one organization and the political authorities.
But wage negotiations.
Take the Jamaican case as an example. The police service in Jamaica has seen significant advances in professionalization in recent years. The police forces now understand that they are primary contributors to public good. The police force that I lead and James lead understand that it is not a worthwhile undertaking now to jeopardize the safety and well-being of Jamaicans over personal matters. Since I've been Commissioner of Police, the police service has not had a wage increase. Yet our performance has been the best that it has ever been in our history. Why? Because the police service in Jamaica is professionalizing itself. Its outlook is towards the public and what serves the public interest. And I think the strategic outlook is for continued development and professionalizing of the organization. So I don't really see that as any lingering threat in the near or distant future.
Commissioner, that leads me seamlessly into the issue of the fears of death squads in the police force. But also, happily for you, the recent revelation that police killings have gone down. So,
yes. I am very anxious, Ian, for those who made the allegations about death squads to produce the evidence or to investigate and bring the truth forward. Because even if we don't find any death squads or we can't produce any information about them existing in the organization, the fact that these allegations were made, somebody has to bring some closure to it. If it is even to say that our investigations have disproved it. The persons who are before the courts are not part of any death squads. I have not been told this by Indicom. I have been told that individuals have been charged criminally for acts which they committed individually. So we're placing individual responsibility. Yes. The idea of a death squad assumes formation, special training, special equipment, special what you call rules of engagement, and some linkage into the chain of command of the organization. That's where I want the investigations to focus.
You're not afraid of that at all?
Absolutely not.
Welcome.
I mean, the allegation implicates me, and it implicates the entire leadership of the force. So those who make the allegation must investigate and prove or disprove this allegation.
But in terms of the empirical facts, you're happy that the Indicom figures show that there has been a decrease?
I am happy that there is less hostility between the police and criminal elements. Not only is there a decrease in instances of fatal shooting by the police, but there's a decrease in gun attacks on the police. We have had a history of 15, 20 policemen being killed in the line of duty each year. In recent years, in fact, 2 years straight, none. Last year, it was maybe about 2 or 3. Year to date, none. So if there is a fall in criminal attacks on the police, there would automatically be a fall in police killings. And that's what we've been saying all along.
Yes. Gentlemen, thank you so much for having been with us on Issues and Answers.
My pleasure.
We've been talking about the proposed merger between the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Island Special Constabulary Force. With us are the heads of these two organizations, Commissioner Owen Ellington and Commandant James Golding. We thank you for your company. Next week, we'll be back. Until then, Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant day.
Businessmen and women, members of the MSMEs, no longer do you have to visit several government agencies to register a company or business name. Visit the COJ. They are willing and prepared to assist you in filling out the new business registration form, more commonly known as the super form.
The overwhelming response from the majority of our customers is, why did this take so long to happen? There are persons who actually waited until January 2nd to come here to do their business because they wanted to avoid going to multiple government departments.
Click on ocrjamaica.com for more details.
What do you get when an energy company teams up with a security and justice entity? A well-powered force that is determined to change lives. Watch this.
The reality of not having any subject give me little opportunities. Hence I started loading buses for 2 years. It was a risky job as some bus loaders got killed, but I knew it was a matter of survival and I did not want to turn to the gun or get involved in a gang. However, I decided that attending art was my way out of poverty, as I would be able to secure a better life through education.
Through the Citizen Security and Justice Program CSJP, Horace Bailey was later able to complete his studies, levels 1 through 3 in electrical installation and industrial electrical maintenance at Skills Training Institution, Heart Trust NTA. But the story didn't stop there.
CSJP gave me the opportunity of a lifetime when they decided to send over 400 youngsters on internship with the JDF, where I learned discipline, punctuality, teamwork, good work ethic, and was exposed to leadership training. Thank you, JDF and CSJP. Today, my story has changed. Yes, I can proudly say I am an intern with the Jamaica Public Service Company.
From loaderman to intern at the Jamaica Public Service JPS, just one success story from the CSJP, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security. CSJP is a crime and violence prevention initiative which builds the overall safety and security of communities. The program, which operates in over 50 communities across 8 parishes, is geared towards developing the skills of unattached youth in volatile communities so they can support themselves and their family rather than turning to crime as an occupation. Since 2001, CSJP has provided educational and on-the-job training to over 8,700 inner-city youth. In 2012, CSJP, through a partnership with the Jamaica Defence Force JDF, began offering on-the-job training to over 400 youngsters. After receiving certification from Heart Trust NTA, the youngsters were able to develop their skills in vocational areas like construction, welding, auto mechanics, and electrical engineering. Now, following another partnership, this time between the CSJP and the JPS, 20 of the then JDF interns, including Horace Bailey, will get another chance to further develop their skill set. The 20 interns will be spending 6 months at the JPS.
10 graduates will be placed within our losses teams that carry out customer audits. 6 will be placed within our Kingston and St. Andrew field operations, and 4 graduates will be placed within our transmission and distribution group.
This partnership was cemented following the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Ministry of National Security, JPS, and the CSJP. National Security Minister Peter Bunting says the $5 million initiative fits in well with the ministry's Unite for Change campaign, which also seeks to empower young people and keep them out of harm's way.
Even 6 months of that experience so gives them the script for their next opportunity, that it can change, in a sort of paradigm shifting way, their outlook on and their employment prospects.
CSJP Program Manager Simeon Robinson has assured JPS that they are getting the cream of the crop.
Looked at their punctuality, looked at their behavior, their attitude on the job, in tandem with the fact that they have achieved in their technical areas, that you are getting 20 youngsters who are ready for the job market.
Many of the JPS interns have similar stories to that of Horace Bailey, and after gaining a wealth of information from the CSJP JDF internship program, they intend to do well at the Light and Power Company.
Right now, we are on our way to saying we are going up another ladder, another step on the ladder So we have to just come together as a team because nothing can be team. What I want to know, you help him up and let him come up there with you.
I'm going to JPS to do my best. This thing. Looking to meet with other people, get interacting, learn good more work ethics and other stuff.
What I plan to take with me from the JDF, going to the JPS, punctuality, which is going to work on time, the discipline, and good behaviors.
Do my best. I'm not there to compete because a lot of us they are wonderful electricians, all of us. And we're not there to compete, we're just here to do our best, whatever task is given.
From I'm a little kid, you know, miss. Always I look on company like JPS, Petrojam, them big company, and say, always I wonder if I could get a time to like even work over there. And now, getting 6 months at JPS in my field, going to make the best of it.
The Ministry of National Security through the CSJP, changing the lives of inner city youth one day at a time. Why not join the initiative and to support those involved? Join the JPS and other organizations to provide on-the-job training for these well-trained young people and play your part in the Unite for Change campaign. Citizens coming together to empower persons to avoid a life of crime.
Your tax dollars help to ensure street lights are properly maintained. Are there defective ones in your area? Report them so they can be fixed. Call 1-888-991-4617. Provide the pole number and location of the street light, and the information will be communicated to the JPS. Join in the effort to ensure your tax dollars work for you.
But when I call on Jesus, all things are possible. I can mount on wings like eagles and soar. When I call on Jesus, mountains are gonna fall.
It's Resurrection Sunday. Whether you're a Christian or not, celebrate Easter or refute its relevance, there's a lesson to be learned. Let's use the holiday period to reflect, to think on our actions. It could be an opportunity to refocus and renew our New Year resolutions. We can learn from and emulate the love that the Bible tells us led Christ to die on the cross for mankind. Hug someone this holiday and flash an infectious smile. Remember, we're not dead. Resurrect that love, forgiveness, and fire inside of you. Before we wrap up this program, think on this. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Those words from civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. Share with us your thoughts on today's show. Drop us a line at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or send a tweet at JIS News. Please click on jis.gov.jm where you may find more news stories and features on all the issues featured in today's magazine. To you and yours, have yourselves a peaceful Easter holiday. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.